As Vermonters look to build a vibrant economy for our future, it is important that the state have both a thorough, substantive economic development plan and a governor who will proactively lead the state to a 21st century economy. The Douglas administration has failed to provide the leadership we need to build a robust economy for the future. Instead, with Jim Douglas at the helm, we've seen our economy stagnate with the highest unemployment rate in 14 years, increasing income disparity, and fewer opportunities for working Vermonters. Throughout my campaign and as speaker, I have met with Vermonters and business owners around the state. From those conversations, I have developed initiatives to address some of the most critical challenges our state is facing, like our energy future and workforce challenges. And you've heard me talk about those initiatives throughout this campaign. Today I'm putting these and other initiatives together as a 21st century initiative. To build a stronger economy, I'm discussing really 5 pieces today. 1, to establish an economic development plan with benchmarks to measure the effectiveness of initiatives, tax credits, and budget expenditures. 2, to address the disconnect between working Vermonters and our employers. 3, to establish Vermont as a leader in the cyber economy. 4, to create good jobs in renewable energy, agriculture, and forestry. And 5, to improve our transportation and communications infrastructure. To begin, if we are to move Vermont's economy into the 21st century, we must begin by pulling together employers and educators to lay out an economic development strategy for Vermont that includes benchmarks for measuring how effectively we are using our economic development dollars. This will build on the work of the Council on the Future of Economic Development and the Unified Economic Development Budget established under my leadership as Speaker. As Governor, I will ensure that Vermont's workers and employers have the tools and opportunities they need to succeed. Too many Vermont employers are frustrated by the challenge of connecting with Vermont workers for their particular needs. At the same time, too many Vermonters are either unable to find good-paying jobs or are struggling from paycheck to paycheck. If we are to foster 21st century opportunities for our workers and our employers, we need to address this disconnect. That's why my administration will foster collaboration between the Agency of Commerce, the Department of Education, and the Department of Labor, and integrate workforce training and development into, as a critical component of, an economic development strategy. The other core components of my workforce strategy are my Bridge to Opportunity, which you've heard me discuss before. It creates a path to higher education and good jobs for Vermonters. And also continuing my work to expand access to quality, affordable child care. The 21st Century Initiative will position our state at the head of the new cyber economy. It is time for our economic development strategy to be fully in step with the way in which Vermonters now communicate and do business. Under my leadership, the legislature passed a digital corporations law that has the potential to attract businesses that operate in cyberspace. Vermont now has a brief window in which to establish our state as the place for cyber entrepreneurs to build their businesses. As governor, I will convene a digital destination summit to connect the local, regional, and national players in this new industry with state agencies and existing Vermont businesses. Vermont's 21st Century Initiative will advance our sustainable food and farm system. I will create a joint projects panel made up of staff from the agencies of Agriculture and Commerce, the Executive Office, the University of Vermont and our state colleges, the Vermont Housing and Conservation Board, farmers, and both the nonprofit and private entrepreneurs, private sector entrepreneurs. The panel will identify appropriate areas of collaboration and initiate joint ventures that will strengthen our food system. Vermont's 21st Century Initiative will build an energy future that moves Vermont toward energy independence, encourages renewable energy development, and creates good-paying jobs. And you've certainly heard me talk about this throughout the campaign. Vermonters are spending nearly $800 million every year on importing fossil fuels to electrify and heat our homes and businesses. Economic studies show that 85% of those dollars are leaving our state, creating a significant drain on our economy. By a contrast, my administration will move Vermont toward local sources of fuel to keep that money in our communities and create thousands of jobs. Just as we talk about eating local, we need to really move to heat local. Vermont's 21st Century Initiative will make greater investments in energy efficiency to save Vermonters money on their electricity and heating bills, and again, to create good jobs. We all know that the cheapest watt of electricity is the one we don't use. While Vermont has been at the forefront of energy efficiency efforts in the past, we are now losing ground relative to other states. As governor, I will restore Vermont's position as a leader in this critical area. And finally, recognizing that our infrastructure is the foundation of our future economy, the Vermont 21st Century Initiative will take a comprehensive approach to fixing our crumbling roads, bridges, rail, and public transit systems, and building a 21st century communications network. It is important to reinforce the strengths that our employers recognize and talk to me all the time about as critical to Vermont as a place to grow a family and as a place to establish and grow a business. Our excellent public schools, our high-quality health care, our natural resources and recreation opportunities that are second to none, the cultural assets that we value and bring our history into our daily lives, and our commitment to public engagement. These all stand out as unique assets to value as we move forward. As governor, I will champion those strengths as we develop initiatives to grow our economy. Last week, my son came home from college and joined me for a couple days on the campaign trail. And it reminded me how lucky I am to have been able to raise my family here in Vermont, and how hard I will work to make sure that he and all Vermont kids have that same opportunity moving forward. And that's why, as governor, no one will work harder to develop a 21st century economy for Vermont. Thank you.